Hi, it's Tony again. We're back on the bench. And this evening, we're going to be diving into a Penn Squidder Model 140 surf casting style reel here. This is something that I recently picked up in a box full of used reels. And actually, the purposes of this particular video is going to be only for the disassembly of this reel because I intend to use parts on this reel for another squidder that I'm working on for a friend of mine. So I essentially only picked this up for a parts reel, but this guy had a box of reels and a couple of tackle boxes for 50 bucks, and I'd say 50 bucks alone is almost what this would probably cost you on eBay. Maybe a little bit less, but after tax and shipping and all the hassle, you're probably going to spend pretty close to the same amount. So, but we're gonna get into this here now and start taking it apart, and so you can see what that looks like. So the bearing's definitely been greased, so there's definitely an abundance of grease in there, and it's better than no grease at all. And that's actually one of the problems that I've been having with the other squidder that I'm currently working on is this bearing is completely frozen, and I'm working on trying to get it unfrozen, but there's a chance that it may not happen. So but this is a take apart design here, so we're just going to take apart our handle side here so you can see what that looks like. Turn our thumb screw, and we should be able to take this out, and it actually doesn't look too bad in here. It's pretty clean stainless steel components in here, so that's actually good. But this was one of the features of the Squidder was being able to do the take apart mechanism and remove your spool. Air brake fins on the Squidder, whereas like the Surf Masters and the other take apart designs that Penn made do not have the air brake fins, and also the anti-reverse lever as well is also unique to the Squidder. So we're gonna just take all these pieces and parts out of here basically, and we'll actually start with the handle side here. So this is an oversized handle. It's not stock. This is a handle that's really made for other models that Penn offered. So it's not to say it can't be used on here. It's totally fine. Take the handle nut off, like so. Yeah, these torpedo handles made out of the Bakelite like this are getting harder and harder to come by for sure, so that's one thing to note. And we're gonna see if we can take our star drag lever off. Wheel. Everything's turning with it here. There we go. So we've got some pieces and parts here, obviously, but so far it's not too bad. So we got 4 screws in here that we're going to get out. We've got 2 top ones that should be partially threaded. There's 1. 2. 3 and 4. Now you want to be careful getting into this because you got your dog and your dog spring lying underneath, and you just want to make sure that they don't go flying out on you. So you just want to lift up your bridge kind of gently and kind of roll it around here. Now we didn't hear this dog clicking, and we're going to find out why here in a moment. So it does actually have the spring. It's kind of hard to see. I'll try to zoom in on that and see if it will focus correctly, but you can see the spring is there. So that's good because we want it to be there, but it probably just got out of place, or there might be some built-up grease in here that kept it from actually making contact with the bridge teeth. So So we got our drag stack and our main gear here, and this is very, very filthy, very, very dirty, so that's definitely going to require some attention. But outside of that, we've got all of our other pieces and parts intact, and that was, this is all pretty much my main reason for getting the reel was some of these innards, the main gear, and some of these other pieces, mostly all these chrome pieces as well. So you can get a lot of these parts, like if you go to mysticparts.com, and you know, a lot of them are still available. Some of them are limited though, however, like the frame post, for instance, and you can only get them in the brushed stainless steel. But you know, like in my particular situation, I would be kicking down about $100 basically for a bunch of brand new parts if I really wanted to cherry everything out. But this is a reel that, it's kind of like an additional reel for my friend. He actually has a couple of other Squidders. He's got another 140 and a Squidder Junior. And so the reel that I'm working on for him is just kind of extra. But just to note, looking in here, I mean, there's an awful lot of grease buildup in here, and so that's definitely going to call for some cleaning in there, which is no big deal, just time. So, and then we got our bridge assembly here. And then, for the other side, we're going to have a look here. So, you know, we got a lot of built-up grease in there, and, you know, in reality, all of this should be taken apart so that we can get all the threads cleaned up and everything, and oil everything really, really well. So, you know, we're going to take the time to do it right, and we're going to take off all these pieces and components. If it was cleaner, I would actually probably just leave it all together and you know, assembled, and just use all that in its entirety. But because we're doing a service, so to speak, on that other Squidder, I really want everything to be done correctly and thoroughly, for that matter. So we're just going to take the time to take all these apart. And plus, I want to show this in the video of how all these pieces and parts come out. So I've got all these screws here. So we've got shorter screws at the base, at the stand. There's two. They should be shorter. If they're not and they stick out, then they're the wrong screw, and that's something that's worth changing out. Yeah, the Squidder's been a very popular model for a lot of years with surf fishermen and pier fishermen, and I've even seen people on boats using the Penn Squidder. It's a very popular model for sure. So we're gonna see if we can pry off these rings here gently. You don't want to get rough with them though, because you don't want to scratch or crack anything, for that matter. So you just go easy. There we go. So that came off real nicely. That's our outer ring, and then we got our inner ring that we're going to try to get out. And you just have to try to find a little bit of seam that's open, and sometimes that's hard. And sometimes you need a really, really, really thin screwdriver to kind of work your way in there, just to get a little bit of space in there. But once you get just tiniest hair, you should be able to work your way around that ring. But you know, there's a lot of corrosion buildup in here, and that's definitely something that we're going to want to clean up, all those pieces and parts there. So that's the non-handle side there in terms of the plate. And then we've got all these tinier screws holding in our frame posts here. And I'm actually going to grab another little container for these pieces here. But yeah, I definitely needed these frame posts, and I don't think my friend was prepared to spend a whole bunch of money on brand new parts per se. And like I said, I got a bunch of reels for the 50 bucks, including this one, and there's actually a couple of other reels that are actually worth 50 bucks on their own in the whole lot. So didn't turn out too bad today. Get those there, and then we'll take our stand mount off. And basically what I'm going to do with all these parts is I'm just going to put them into a parts tray, a larger parts tray, and I'm just going to pour a bunch of WD-40 on them and let that soak in and let it do its work on these pieces and parts, because as you can see, it's definitely got some signs of corrosion. Not only did I need the rings and the frame post, but I also needed this stand as well. And as you can see, it's seen better days too. So we're definitely going to take the time to clean everything up. And what I'm going to do is do that, and then I'll be posting another video soon on all the other Squidder parts from my friend's reel, which is right here, and you can see like there is an existing ring, but we need the outer ring. And there actually is also a little bit of a difference in color here too on the side plates, which is important to note. My friend's is this darker color, and this one's actually a kind of a lighter red color, so that's kind of important to note. But I've got various pieces and parts here, but there's just still a bunch of parts missing, like the inner ring for the handle side and things like that. So yeah, in that other video though, we'll be coming back with this set of parts, and then some of these parts, mostly the chrome pieces and the main gear and stuff like that, and we'll be reassembling that reel. So thanks again for watching. This is Tony with Back on the Bench. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.